You know the hits, but do you know the guitars behind them? Today, we're counting down 12 of the most criminally underrated R&B and soul guitarists, the unsung heroes who shaped the sound of generations. From psychedelic soul to Motown magic, from smooth grooves to wah-wah legends, these are the players every music fan should know. Let's start with numbers 12 through 9, deep cut masters you've probably never heard of, but won't forget.
So happy and now, blue flower echo from a cherry.
Let's kick things off with number 12, Shuggie Otis. Now, if you've never heard of him, don't worry, you're not alone. Shuggie is one of those artists who influenced generations of musicians, but somehow slipped under the radar.
If you arrive and don't see me, I'm going to be with my...
Born into a musical family, he started playing guitar professionally before he was even a teenager. By the time he was in his teens, he was already recording with big names, but it was his solo work that really showcased his genius. His 1974 album, Inspiration Information, is a psychedelic soul masterpiece. Imagine R&B and soul, but with a hint of funk, a touch of jazz, and a mind-bending psychedelic twist. It's smooth, it's groovy, and it feels like the soundtrack to a dream. And then there's Strawberry Letter 23. While most people know the Brothers Johnson hit, Shuggie wrote it, and that guitar work, the chord choices, the melodies, it's classic. His style is subtle but full of feeling. He doesn't just play notes, he tells a story with every string he plucks. Shuggie Otis is a reminder that sometimes the most groundbreaking artists aren't the ones on the radio. They're the ones musicians listen to in secret, learning from every lick and groove. If this song just hit you in that quiet place, don't let this moment be a one-time thing. Subscribe to Demo. We're building a home for real R&B and soul, the kind that heals, the kind that tells the truth. Hit subscribe and come back whenever you need a song that understands you. Coming in at number 11 is Robert White. Now this guy might surprise you because while many R&B fans know the songs, they rarely know the musicians behind them. Robert White was part of the legendary Motown Funk Brothers, the studio band that created the backbone of the Motown sound. He played guitar on countless hits, but one of his most famous contributions is the opening riff to My Girl by The Temptations. Think about that for a second. That riff is iconic. It's one of those notes that sticks in your head for a lifetime, yet few people know who played it. That's the kind of impact Robert had. He wasn't flashy or showy. He didn't need to be. His playing was all about serving the song, making the music feel alive, soulful, and unforgettable. White's work is a perfect example of how a guitarist can shape the sound of an era without ever stepping into the spotlight. He helped define the Motown groove that still influences modern music today. Number 10 is Miko Weaver. If you think about Prince and his world of music, you probably picture the hits, the wild stage presence, and the iconic Minneapolis sound. Behind some of that magic was Miko Weaver, an incredibly talented guitarist who toured with Prince in the late 1980s. Weaver is the kind of player who blends into the music seamlessly but leaves an impression you can feel. His pocket, his sense of timing, and his ability to hit just the right note at the perfect moment made him an essential part of Prince's band. He wasn't just following the songs, he was enhancing them. Adding textures, colors, and subtle flourishes that made every performance feel special. What's crazy is that so few people outside diehard Prince fans know his name. Yet his fingerprints are all over some of the most exciting guitar work in late 20th century R&B. Miko Weaver proves that being a behind-the-scenes player doesn't mean you can't be legendary. And finally, rounding out our first group at number 9 is Isaiah Sharkey. Now, Isaiah represents the modern era of soul guitar. He's best known for his work with D'Angelo on the Black Messiah album, which was a critical masterpiece that redefined contemporary soul and R&B. Isaiah's style is a blend of jazz, gospel, and R&B, a fusion that creates this rich, expressive sound. He's a guitarist, meaning other musicians listen to him closely because of his touch, his phrasing, and his deep understanding of groove.
That leaves me in the dark.
But what makes him stand out is how he makes it feel effortless. Every chord, every line, every fill seems perfectly placed, even though it's incredibly complex. Isaiah Sharkey shows that the soul guitar tradition isn't just alive, it's evolving. He's taking what legends before him created and pushing it forward, adding his own voice while respecting the roots.
It's been through hard living.
Starting at number 8, we have Bobby Womack. Most people recognize Bobby as a singer, with his unforgettable voice cutting through soul classics, but very few truly appreciate his guitar playing.
'Cause I don't know what's up there beyond the sky.
Bobby's guitar wasn't just accompaniment, it was storytelling. It had soul, grit, and emotion. He could make a simple chord feel like a conversation, a moment of joy, or a heartbreak.
Go to the bridge.
He played on recordings for legends like Aretha Franklin and Sam Cooke, contributing subtle guitar lines that became the heartbeat of their hits. His own solo work also showcased his unique style. Blending rhythm and lead in a way that made the guitar feel alive and vocal. What makes Bobby truly underrated as a guitarist is that his playing never shouted for attention. It worked in service of the song, elevating it, yet remained understated.
What can you say about that?
Anyone listening closely can hear the soul in every note. Bobby Womack reminds us that sometimes the most powerful musicians are the ones whose fingers do the talking while their voice takes the credit. At number 7 is Marlo Henderson, a studio legend whose guitar work graced some of the most famous R&B and soul records of all time. Marlo was a true musical chameleon. Whether he was playing for Stevie Wonder, Michael Jackson's Off the Wall, or Minnie Riperton, his guitar adapted perfectly to each song. What set Marlo apart was his taste. Every note, every riff, every fill was carefully placed. He could turn a simple groove into something unforgettable. He wasn't flashy for the sake of showing off. His playing was always about feel, about complimenting the singer, and about making the music breathe. Even if you've never heard his name, you've heard his work countless times. Marlo Henderson is proof that behind every iconic song, there's often a quietly brilliant guitarist shaping the sound in ways most listeners never notice. Number 6 brings us Dennis Harris, a key architect of the Philly soul sound. This is the sound you hear in tracks like Ain't No Stopping Us Now by McFadden and Whitehead, or Lou Rawls' smooth classics. Dennis Harris's guitar playing was the glue that held those songs together. His style was tasteful, precise, and melodic. He understood space, rhythm, and how to make a guitar line feel like part of a larger story. In the world of session musicians, Harris was a quiet innovator. He didn't dominate the spotlight, but his playing defined the sound of an entire musical movement. When you hear a song that has that smooth Philly groove, that's Dennis's touch giving it life. Harris's work reminds us that the unsung heroes of R&B are often the ones who don't take center stage, but whose contributions are impossible to ignore once you listen closely. And at number 5, we have Greg Moore, the smooth rhythm king of earth, wind, and fire. Greg's guitar work is subtle but essential. He knows exactly when to lay back and let the rhythm carry the song. When to add just the right touch of lead to give the music extra lift. He also played with other giants, including Anita Baker, Tina Marie, and Roy Ayers, bringing his signature smoothness to every track. Greg Moore is a master of timing and groove.
49. Shout too easy.
His playing is never over the top, but it's always felt. He's the kind of guitarist who can make a song swing, dance, or melt your heart, all without you realizing exactly why it feels so right.
I recall that you were mine.
Greg reminds us that sometimes being a great guitarist isn't about solos or flashy riffs. It's about serving the song, supporting the singer, and making the music feel alive in every moment. At number 4, we have Wah Wah Watson, born Melvin Roggen. If you've ever heard Marvin Gaye's Let's Get It On, Michael Jackson's Off the Wall, or countless Motown hits, you've already experienced his genius, even if you didn't know his name. Wah Wah Watson was a monster in the studio. His nickname alone tells you something about his style. The wah wah pedal became his signature voice, allowing him to make the guitar sing, cry, and whisper all at once. But what made Wah Wah Watson truly remarkable wasn't just technique, it was feel. Every note he played had emotion, groove, and purpose. He could take a simple chord and turn it into something unforgettable. Many session guitarists play for the song, but Wah Wah Watson made the song come alive. His work influenced generations of guitarists and shaped the sound of R&B forever. Number 3 is Teenie Hodges, the unsung hero behind Al Green's timeless sound. Teeny wasn't just a guitarist, he was a songwriter, a rhythm architect, and a subtle magician on 6 strings. He co-wrote classics like Take Me to the River in Love and Happiness, but it's his guitar work that really gives those songs their heartbeat. Teeny had this incredible ability to make the guitar fit perfectly into a groove, never overpowering the voice, but always adding depth, warmth, and soul. His style was understated, yet unforgettable. An elegant mix of rhythm and melody that defined the high record sound. Without him, Al Green's hits wouldn't have had that irresistible pull, the kind that makes you sway without even realizing it. Teeny Hodges reminds us that genius often lives in the spaces between the notes, not just the notes themselves. Coming in at number 2 is David T. Walker, a true session ghost legend. His guitar playing shows up everywhere in 60s through 80s R&B and soul, sometimes so subtly that most listeners never even notice. But other musicians, they know, they listen, they study his phrasing, his touch, the way he bends and shapes notes to create emotion. David's style is smooth, jazz-infused, and incredibly expressive. He could move from a gentle rhythm part to a melodic lead without missing a beat, always serving the song first. His tone has this warm, almost vocal quality, as if the guitar itself is singing. He may not have been a household name, but his fingerprints are all over some of the greatest soul recordings ever made. David T. Walker shows us that true artistry is often quiet, behind the scenes, but its impact lasts for decades. If this song just hits you in that quiet place, don't let this moment be a one-time thing. Subscribe to Demo. We're building a home for real R&B and soul, the kind that heals, the kind that tells the truth. Hit subscribe and come back whenever you need a song that understands you. And finally, number 1, the wah-wah architect of soul himself, Skip Pitts. If you've ever heard the Shaft theme, you know Skip's work. That opening wah-wah riff is one of the most iconic guitar lines in R&B history. But there's so much more to Skip than just one riff. He played on hundreds of recordings, collaborating with Isaac Hayes, Rufus Thomas, and countless other legends. Skip's style is instantly recognizable. Funky, tight, precise, and full of personality. He had the rare ability to create guitar lines that were both rhythmic and melodic, driving the groove while also adding flair. His influence on funk, soul, and R&B cannot be overstated. Even if his name isn't known to the casual listener, his music is woven into the very fabric of the genre. Skip Pitts represents the pinnacle of R&B guitar mastery. Creative, influential, and eternally groovy. The journey doesn't end here, R&B soul lovers. Watch this next.